Welcome back, my family. Not welcome back, Carter, but welcome back, Built on the Budget family. Hey, I'm sitting out here in the backyard. I want to shoot another video, man, on my John Deere tractors that I have as of right now. You know, I have the 318 that I'm working on. That's want to be special right now, but we getting that done. But I also got two more that I mentioned earlier in the video that I had. I got a John Deere 335 and I had to look in a 235. And I'm just gonna turn the video around and just kind of let you know a little bit about each one of them here. All right, this is my John Deere 235. I actually got this mower from a subscriber of mine. He was having a few problems with it, and he didn't really want to fool with it too much more. So he blessed me with it, and it's a blessing is what it's been. What I done to it since I got it from him is I changed the tires on it, and I tell you where they come from. Some nice rubber on them, man. They look brand new, front and back. And it has the 48-inch cutting deck on it. I changed the deck, which it came with another deck, and that's the one it came with. I just changed it out and did a little work, but it didn't have no hood. So I bought another mower that had a cracked up hood on it, and you see it actually come off of the 335 that I'm gonna talk to you about in a minute. But when you look at these John Deere's of this series, all of them got cracked hoods on them. They cracked up everywhere. I mean, I don't know why John Deere couldn't do a better job with the plastic that they made on the hood. To be honest with you, is those plastic hoods that really make me like the older style mowers. And yes, the older style mowers, even the 318 got a fiberglass hood on it, but that mower 35 years old and that hood ain't cracked at all. So this hood with the grill actually come off of my 335 that I'm gonna show you a little later. And I replaced the little piece down there in the front to go on it, and it makes it a real nice mower. I ordered a brand new seat, and I believe I ordered it from China, because it taken everything in the world for it to get here. But this is just some preliminary fiberglass. I got it reinforced underneath, and then I started, you know, putting a little bit on the top. I hadn't sanded any of this. I got to put more on it because I still got more cracks that's got to be bondoed up with some fiber strand. I had pieces like down here. The whole chunk was missing right here, and I had to make that. I had to make it around the front. A chunk was missing out around here. I had to make that. So, you know, it was broke here. So all of this is just preliminary stuff. But for the most part, it's a real good engine in it. Everything is nice on it. It's actually one of my favorite tools right now to use. Attached behind it, as you see, is an aerator. Now, I'm gonna get a tape measure and see how wide that is. So hold on for a minute. And as y'all see, it is 48 inches. I like the setup that it has on it. It rolls on the tires, and when you wanna let it roll on the barrel, you unhook it, flip it over, and then it actually runs on the barrel. I like the aggressiveness of the spikes, the way they set up, and then it rolls on a bearing like that. And actually, when I got it, it was green and yellow. I'm not saying it was John Deere, cause it looked like it was homemade, but you know, it's John Deere now. I'm paint the wheels and stuff up on it and paint the drum, and as you can see, it has a fill plug to put water in it. So that ought to make it pretty heavy. Now, let me just give you a little backstory. Me and my wife was out, and we was eating little brunch out at Bojangles, and a guy come through the drive-through, and he had it on the back of his truck along with some more scrap metal. So I went out the door and I asked the man, "Hey, where you going with that stuff, man?" He said, "I'm going to the scrap yard." So I actually bought the aerator and the patio furniture that he had on the back of his truck, and I got a real good deal on it. And I came home, I had to do a little bit of work, a little welding on the aerator, but the patio furniture and stuff was in real good shape, so I got all of that. So I got a real good deal. So this setup here that you see is built on the budget. All of that's on the budget. Okay, so that's enough for the 235. If I try to crank it without choking it, it might start. Let me see. Good running mower. I had to put a new PTO on it, a new muffler. The previous owner, he used it to pull stuff around with it and smashed up a few pieces on the front end, but I straightened them out, and they mainly up under that plastic cover under the grill. But it's like I said, it's really my mower of choice. Yeah, it's a little cub in the background. We'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. But this one here is actually the 335. I bought this mower from a guy offline, and I got a real good deal on it. It has the 48 convertible on it, a deck. This one here has, see if I can't activate it. Okay. See if you can see that from the side, maybe. Tilt wheel. Got tilt wheel on it. Hydrostatic. Got a deck. The deck is a hydrostatic, hydraulic lift. It has power steering on it, as you can see. The wheel cylinders here. And it came with a 20 horsepower Kawasaki engine. Now, I actually took the tires off of this mower and put it on the 235 here, because they was a lot better than the ones that came on the 235. But you know, I'm trying to recoup my money because I thought that I was gonna basically have to part this mower out. So I was trying to get my money's worth. I knew I had a real good deck, look almost brand new, where, look at that side cover. That little piece right there is worth a lot of the money that I paid for the mower. But if you had to buy it new, but as you see, it's missing on this one. And I don't know if I want to put it on or not, because I like cutting without the chute. But it has, you know, the foot pedals for the forward and reverse, the brake pedal, cup holder, and it even comes with a toolbox. Yeah. So they got a deck adjustment. I mean, it was a real nice mower. And with the hood on it, that's on that one, because they fit each other, this mower here was a nice mower. But it had a problem. The guy, he said that it would run, but he couldn't get it started. And let me take a few things off of it right quick. He couldn't get it started. Let me sit down over here. So I got that message. Yeah, it was running good last summer whenever I put it up, and when I went to start it this year, it wouldn't start. So my wife bought me a zero turn. Yeah, okay. You know, you learn those stories. I believe it was showing like, let me see, 947 hours on it. So I got a good deal on it, considering the parts. If you go store and you try to buy these multi-track CS turf tires, if you try to go to the store and you buy these tires here, you're gonna have a couple of $100 in them. These here's a little bit more. I mean, you know, add to that. And then if you go try to buy a 48-inch deck, which I got an extra deck because it'll fit this one, I'm figuring I got my money. So I come home and I go to work on this thing. First thing I found out, he had the wrong spark plugs in it. Now, I kind of figured out what happened with that. This man wasn't gonna sell me this lawnmower and leave good spark plugs in it. So he took them because the one that was in it was way too short. So I put new spark plugs in it. And it was just popping back, popping back, popping back. So I go to the valves, adjust the valves on it, and it still wouldn't crank. So when I go to set the gap on the cord, which everybody watching this video, with the exception of Mama Joyce, she probably wouldn't understand this, so I'm gonna explain it to you, Mama, if you're watching. The cores is these things right here. They have an adjustment for the distance to this flywheel to help give spark. Well, they was all beat up. They was all scratched up, scraped up, spread it out. So I had another set of coils. I put a different set of coils on it, and voila, the 20 horsepower come to life. And it ran real good. But it had a bad vibration. the flywheel was running out of round. And I knew then that we had a problem. So as I took the flywheel off, I noticed that the bushing was wore out in the casing that the crankshaft go to. Now, you can go and look at a lot of videos. A lot of you guys out there is scrapping these 20 horsepower Kawasaki engines because that upper bushing is gone bad. Well, normally on an engine, you got these numbers that's somewhere on the block, on a little tag that give you the model, the serial, the series, and everything. It normally be like down here in that little spot. Mine was missing. And the only thing I knew that it was a 601V. A 601V, but I didn't have the last numbers to go on it. So I go to a Kubota dealership that got Kawasaki engines on. You know, they smart people. And the young lady out there, she dug and dug and dug until she found me a bushing. The bushing was $12. I tore the engine apart, put the bushing in, and the motor runs real good and strong. With now, the exception is I'm sucking air, and I'm thinking it could be in my intake somewhere. So I got to get some carburetor cleaner and fire it up and find out where I'm sucking air at. But somewhere this puppy is sucking air, but it'll run, and it runs very well as long as I got it on choke. So, hey, if you know what that problem is, the engine runs strong as long as I got it on choke. I take the choke off, it dies out. To me, not a small engine man, just a man with some Smithsonian hands and love to watch a lot of YouTube videos to learn. I think that is sucking air, and that's why it runs better when I got the choke on. So, yeah, that's what I got. That's my 3 John Deeres that I own. And then, I mean, that's a nice little setup, boy. That's a nice little rig, you know. And then I have, boom, Super LT 1550. Hey, the first thing I like about this more is this here. Check this out. The hood lift up like a car. And it had the 25 horsepower Kohler engine in it. And it's a good strong engine. Hydrostatic, 50-inch cut. Cub Cadet. I got this from a real good friend of mine. He kind of blessed me with it. Didn't have a lot of money tied up in it. But it's still a real nice mower. And so I actually have a nephew who is a Cub Cadet man. And he said he wanted. I worked out a little something with him to kind of be a blessing to him. And hopefully, you know, he'll get it. Stand by one. Yeah. Hopefully, you know, he said he want it. And here it is, Roscoe. You see it in the flesh, son. It's here when you're ready for it. Cub Cadet 1550. Is here. Nice mower. When Roscoe picked this Cub Cadet up, I want to replace it with what? Some John Deere stuff. I'm looking at, and I told y'all in earlier videos, I'm looking at a 210, a 212. I don't really know a whole lot about them. I like the body styles on them. The man that has them, he didn't really make a lot of disclaimer. He said he know one of them will run. What all is wrong with it, he hadn't really messed with it. He don't know. The other one, he really don't know a lot about. I'd rather a man tell me that than to tell me it's a low hour engine. Low hour mower, you know. 210s, I think one of them is a 1975. So how many hours on it since 1975? It's all there. It appears to be all there anyway. The decks and stuff on them. And that's where I'm looking to go if I get rid of this Cub Cadet. So, look, that's just part of what I got. Part of my little is where I'm at right now. I really, to be honest with you, don't want to spend $400 in a plastic hood to go on this mower. As nice as it is, when I get it running real good, I'ma probably pass it on. It won't be gave away. I got to at least recoup the money that I got in it, which is not a whole lot, but I got to get that back. So, cause I'm in a on-end project 318. So, you know, if I can recover my money from this one and put a good running more in a man's lifestyle, then, you know, hey, let's do business. But other than that, I keep it and I find a hood if I had to fix it, or I buy a brand new hood for this one and put that hood back on this one. It's a win-win situation for me, a win-win situation for who the next owner will be. It don't really matter to me. So that's what I got today. 335 GT 235 1550 Super LT 48-inch aerator, capable of holding, man, I don't know how much water, but you know, I got it and I'm enjoying it. So hadn't did a lot of work with it yet. Did a lot to it, but not a lot of work with it, but I'm enjoying it. So look, I'm looking for Super 80 carts. You know, I got an ab fab, you know, cart here, but I love to have John Deere stuff. That's what I'm into. There's nothing that runs like a Deere. You know, I'm gonna tell you something. If you see a lot of people, I tell people that John Deere's are like a tattoo. How many people, now ask yourself this question, how many people you know with a tattoo? How many people you know that only have one? John Deere's are just like a tattoo. You're not gonna get just one. So, hey, look, enough for now. I'm gonna see about what else I can get done. Hey, I appreciate y'all watching these videos. I know that the content ain't, you know, it ain't I can be better. And when I start back using my GoPro, I get a little better with it. I'm learning John Deere's. I'm doing a lot. I'm learning it as I go. So I don't have a lot of tutorial videos to show you because it takes a long time to record while you're doing the work. But I still have that P218 engine that I'm rebuilding. I'm going to get some video on it in the next coming up weeks when I get the rest of my parts and I start putting that stuff back together. And maybe when I go to pull that stern column out of my 318, I may set my GoPro up and do some elapsed times on it and what have you. But I want to say I appreciate everybody that's watching this video. It's a little bit different from what I started out with. It's still built on the budget. Don't forget, it is still what? Built on the budget. So that's where I'm at. You can build a lot of things on a budget. And so that's the type of videos that I want to put out. It's always somebody out there just like you that might not have the big money to go out and purchase brand new, or they might be just smart, don't want to make that payment. I mean, hey, I feel you, because I didn't. And there's always people out there that's creative. I'm not going to say you got these Smithsonian hands, but you might have hands that's capable of making your project happen for you. So, drop down in the comment. Let me know what you got. I'm small. I don't have as many tractors as some of these guys that I subscribe to. Some of y'all guys, in a good way, I envy, man. When I look in there and you got all of the 2 Series, you got the 140s, H3s and H2s, and you got all of those old John Deere's that take you back to when you were real young. Man, I love that type of stuff, man. And that's where I'm at in this dispensation of time for my life. In the next 6 months, I could be flying airplanes. And believe it, if I was, I would be good at it. Believe those parts. Yes, sir. So, once again, like I said, if you like these videos, hit the like button. If you don't like the video, hit the dislike button, man. Whatever, flip your skirt, you do it. But this is built on the budget, saying thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for allowing me in your house. I'm keeping it real. That's all I know how to do. Until the next video, peace.